create with pleasure, not pressure. Today, I want to talk about creativity a bit because it's pretty important for us awaken people to create something that can help others. And you may still be in the 3D realm and try to understand what is this creativity thing. I'm not creative. The most people say I'm not creative. I'm not an artist or something like this. And the short answer is everybody can be or should be, but maybe there are beliefs that tell you, or your mind, your physical mind tells you, you can't be creative or it makes no sense. You can't make a living of it or something like this. Maybe you stopped in the past one day to follow dreams that are based on creative work or personal expression of yourself and so on, because everybody around you told you you can't make a living of it. Stop this and do something serious. The interesting part in this is, in our childhood, everybody of us lived it from minute to minute, from moment to moment, because when we played to learn something new, to experience something, and to do what our emotional system had joy to do or to experiment, I would say. There was nothing around us that stopped us from this. And it was a natural part of our being in the childhood. And later, when we went to school and so on, a lot of people around us we listened to because we thought they can help us in our own development. We stopped with this because everybody around us told us, our teachers, our friends, it makes no sense. This creative stuff doesn't help. And there were maybe some moments in your childhood you became quite sad about this because it made you happy. You had a lot of fun to do such things. You didn't have to create outcome or something like this. You did it just for fun, and it made your day, and you had fun and so on. And the interesting part in awakening is we go back to this kind of living, to this kind of experience of feeling. And because you already experienced it in the past, you can remember. And awakening is most of the time remembering what's there in your deepest body, I would say, the who I am thing I'm always talking about. And that's the roots for the joy that can become your no kind of living, if you can remember how it was in your childhood, why it was useful. And the interesting part in this is how it can make your living much, not only just joyful or um, deeper. It's your inner truth you will find again. And if there is something that is in this kind aligned, you will understand over time, if you live this kind of truth and those experience the highest excitement in every moment, for short, the results to make a living will become much better. That's the interesting part in this. You have to leave a lot of things, this beliefs that are not yours, this control system around you, the matrix, we can call it, that limits you in in any area, I would say. And then as long as you accept this, it's keep going this way. But there's so much more inside you. And the interesting part with this creativity stuff is that when you recover yourself, who you are, your inner truth, this joy to just do the things because you love it to do. And that's the important part. You have to love it, else leave it. You will be much more interesting to others, and that in the end will um, create even more money than you may already earn or have, because there's something, I would say, shiny that becomes more and more obvious, and you become a magnet for others. Because if you live your life this way again, as you already experienced in the childhood, others will ask you, how do you do this? Why are you so joyful, full of fun, and love your life and love around you and so on, and all this creative results you create that others inspire or help even. um, they will ask you, how do you do this? What's going on inside you? um, so it is quite interesting to understand there is a direct connection in understand who you are, leave the matrix, live your life in the most exciting part you can imagine. And it will be much better than that, because our mind is limited in this. And all this creativity part will help others to make their life much easier, better, um, maybe become awakened too. And there is a chance that you find a way to live it this way. You have to be open to this, and you have to remember how it was in your childhood. That's for sure. And it maybe takes some time. Yeah. Um, in the end, it's just an decision, because space time doesn't really exist. But if you have this linear thinking, you may invest maybe some years, but that's a good invest, because the rest of your life you will be much happier. That's for sure. It is worth the invest. And in the meantime, you can take small steps. Maybe you already experienced flow state. Flow state is pretty interesting. Um, if you have time for yourself without distractions, disruptions, and so on, and you do something you really love, the feeling of time goes away, and you just be in the moment, from the moment to the next moment to the next moment to the next moment. And that's a first impression of what awakening means, because there's no past. You think about what has gone a different way, or had become better, a better solution or a better decision or something like this. How the past influence the current moment, or the how is going with my future. Do I have to be afraid? What's coming? All these mind-based um, views on your being are gone, and you live just in the moment, like this flow state. as a first impression, and you can already prepare yourself maybe as a first step. So if you have time for yourself, and can prepare your environment the way that there are no distractions, disruptions, and so on, even if it's only 30 minutes or so, or 15 minutes, um, you will experience this very nice, be with yourself, do what you love, and really do what you love. Not you have to do and to take those time to create an outcome or so. No, no, no. Don't do it this way. Just do it because you love the doing. You know. So if you're maybe dreamt of creating music or paint or write, just do it. The doing and the doing in the moment, the feeling doing it, that's this little spark of what it means to be awakened. And those moments help you to recover this time from your childhood, and it gives you a really good feeling, even if it's only 15 minutes or so. And you can be much more productive, even if it's not the game, but you will experience it this way, um, to create something with meaning, um, with purpose. Maybe if you are interested in create something to help others, um, you will get something pretty useful for others over time. You don't have to create something in just 15 minutes or so. Take your time, even if you invest months, just do it. Take baby steps because the result is not the important part. The doing is it. So repeat the doing and the feeling, the, the, the joyful moments, and you will understand what creativity really is and that it's still in you. And it is maybe over time, if you can remember, it's similar to what you experienced in your childhood. And this will help you to find your way to yourself because every time there's no dissonance around you, you do something that helps to understand who you are, what your needs are, what is important to you, and try to get more of it. If we talk about space time, I would say take more time every day to do it this way. And maybe you find ways to expand this time or leave something that not really helps. Maybe you skip some videos, some Netflix stuff also, and try it the new way to take those moments of um, expression, being in the moment, and live your life more intensively, I would say. And even if you're exhausted, you don't have to do it every day, for sure not. But maybe those moments help you to get rid of this exhaustion because there is another kind of energy level you create, you develop, you experience. And maybe there's a motivation in it to do more of it because of the feeling you get from this instead of looking Netflix or so. And maybe you find a way over time to get rid of more of those distractions, and everything that doesn't really help to be who you are. The flow state was a first step for me to experience who I am, and this helps as a first step, I would say, to experience what is something you want to have in your life or in your environment and what not. Because if you're in resonance with something, it's much easier to be than if you're in dissonance with something. And this can everything um, um, be, because it's a kind of negative energy. You, you, it doesn't feel right. And those flow states, if you create your environment the way you need it, help to get more of this resonance stuff. This, I would say, more positive. There's no negative energy. It's just being and living who you are according to your needs, according to your values, maybe. And the more you try to live this way, you more you or you better you understand who you are, and that's an important part for awakening. And so try to be creative in such flow state moments and understand what are your dissonances and what are your resonances, and create more time with resonances, but not with the outcome, just for the experience, for the joy, for the doing. And over time, something will change, will shift. Because if something you create becomes a one-to-one, I would say, expression of who you are, your inner truth, it will attract more and more people in your environment. It's an expression of your inner self. And if you go into communication with the outer world this way, so talk about your truth, and everything you create is an expression of this, people will recognize there's something different with this person. What's going on there? Some will say, "Oh no, that's not my play," and leave you. Others will say, "Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more about this." So the more you live your inner truth and create something that follows this, the more your environment has to adapt. That's a law of attraction, we call it. So you attract people who like, or who be like you. So if you find a way to understand who you are and live it this way, this kind of inner truth, and the creativity and everything you create is a direct expression of it, and your outer world gets an impression of this over time, more and more adaptation will come, so that there are, and even if you're on social media also, and talk about it and show your results and so on, the more people will understand, oh, okay, there's someone like me. I like all this stuff that was created there. Um, I'm interested to get more of it, to better understand what's going on. Maybe people ask you one day, how did you do this? I'm or I'm trying and thinking about this over years, and I don't get it. Can you help me so you can make maybe a business out of it, if you like, and then you get out of your bad situation in a 9 to 5 and so on. Um, that's something that maybe is a result of all this. Well, I would say little change. Just be in the flow state and do what you like. Um, your highest excitement in every moment, so to say. So creativity is there. Remember your childhood, how you played and how you experienced your environment or learned things. You can recover or rediscover it. It's still there, but you have to get rid of all these beliefs that tell you that makes no sense to invest time in this. That's a lie. That's something to control you or to keep you in control. The matrix is there to tell you it every minute via your friends, your parents, your spouse, maybe your friends who tried it and didn't get it and say, no, 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 don't try it. It doesn't make sense. The problem with all this is it makes sense for everyone, but you have to understand to have to leave some beliefs or societal norms that are not really yours, that are not who you are. So this reflection is something that is pretty important to become successful with this change. But even if you're not thinking about get an alternative to make a living or something, or get a better life, just do it for the joy and for the emotional moment to feel better, be more positive, and just do who you are and get an expression of it. You don't have to share it with the world, but you can, and it will have an impact. That's for sure. Yeah, and that's why I'm creating music with AI. Everybody tells you out there, don't create music with AI. Doesn't make sense. Copyright problems. Nobody will listen to AI created music. And the truth is, you have to be an experienced musician or someone who has created music themselves in the past. And it doesn't have to be something you play an instrument or so. You can do it in the computer, no problem. And you have to understand what's important to use something like an AI creating a tool that creates music or images or videos. So to me, there are two parts in it. The first one, a good idea. That's an impression of who you are, your inner truth. It's always unique because it's your inner truth. Everybody of us is unique. So everything you create from this source is something special. So there's no real competition if you follow this way. And the second part is taste. And everybody of us has taste in themselves, or you can develop it. It's something. Every time you say, this kind of color combination is not what I think it's cool, that's taste. And there's also a truth in it because it's an expression of your inner truth. If you say, okay, this black orange thing is not mine, I want something different or I like something different, that's okay. Every expression of your inner truth is the taste you follow. and you should follow. And there are a lot of people out there who will share this. That's the interesting part with this. Don't follow any standards or something that was developed in the last decades. It's only one expression of some people who thought that this could be or should be a standard and everybody is following it because nobody reflects about it. Is it really my belief that this is a taste I like, or do I just believe it? So it's that simple. Have a good idea that follows your inner truth and follow your inner taste, and then create. It's that simple. Try it. It will change your life.